The figure leaps forward powerfully, clearing the distance between us as I can only imagine an Olympic athlete might. Blade raised overhead as they come in for a landing. The black-clad stranger swings downward at Peter, who somehow musters the defiant courage to swing and catch the incoming attacker's jaw with a punch, before getting cleaved into. Alright, whose story will you start with? Sparkus or Althea? I guess we'll do Althea. Alright, warning, this game is intended for a 17+ audience. It contains foul language, sexual themes, occasional descriptive violence, and other mature topics not for the faint of heart. Player discretion is advised. This is a work of fiction. Name, characters, businesses, places, events, locals, incidents are either the product of developers' imaginations or used in fictional manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. Distributing this game or its assets is punishable by law. There's a special place in the depths of the theum for those who steal from indie devs. Okay. Alright, enter space, left mouse, advanced story. There's a whole control for the actual. Okay, that's nice to know. An age of the axe, an age of the sword, an age of the storms, an age of wolves. Shields will be cloven. Before the world sinks in the sea, there will be no man left who is true to another. Chapter 0, Althea, Part 1. Alright. Oh, and the Poetic Edda. The sounds of battle surround me. I look around at the chaos. There's something I'm supposed to do, but how? Where? Where are the others? They were supposed to help me. No. They're turning and fighting him. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Stop! He isn't our enemy. He needs to do this, or else. The voice is both familiar and unfamiliar, yet it comes from within me. I feel its urgency as my own. I rush forward. He's attacked them now in return. Viciously but outnumbered, the outcome is now all but certain. Suddenly I'm on the ground, warm blood pouring down my face. Is it mine? What happened? My vision fades as a figure stands over me, and the blade jabs down into me from above. Traitor. Who said that? Well, that is the way to do an intro to a game, I guess. I guess we're doing it that way. That's fine. A swell of music pulls me back to the physical world. My alarm. Honestly, it was a dream. It was all a dream. What an intense dream. My heart is still pounding as if I've been fighting for my life. Huh. I blink, bringing my eyes into focus as I mentally summon my heads upon the display to shut off the alarm and quickly flick through any notifications before getting up. Well, maybe it can snooze for 10 minutes. 10 turns to 15, 15 turns to 20, and next thing you know, you done missed half your day. So, that's up to you. I lie gazing at the ceiling, the morning sun streaking across from the window. What are those dreams, or these dreams? I can't always remember them, but it feels like it wasn't the first time. There's a knock at the door. Miss Thea? Are you getting ready? It's Johannes, the assistant my parents hired after we moved to New Reykjavik? Yeah, that's the closest I can get to it. His impeccable politeness makes pings like these easier to swallow, but his knock was still jarring with how afraid I felt. He's only a few years older than me, so it's strange being minded by someone who's basically a peer. And by someone whose local accent I find so damn charming, among other things. But anyway, I'll tell him, well, why be rude? He was nice. Just be nice back. Alright, I'll be down at the car. Footsteps trail away from the door. Might have a minute or two to continue lying here, but I really need to get up. So eventually I roll out of bed. I get dressed. Well, I feel like we should take our time. If we want to come out of the room a hot mess. Alright, I check over my outfit, hair, and face in the mirror as I get ready, making sure there's no remaining sign of bedhead or how tired I still feel. Once I'm ready to go, I add a breakfast bar to my bag to save time and head down to the garage. Traffic is so bad in the city that most people don't own their own cars, so having one at disposal is quite a luxury, not to mention having a human driver. And that's why I would never live in New York City. Most people just hail rides everywhere or take the rails, all automated unless you pay extra for the human touch. But the culture in the city seems so private and quiet that I wonder if anyone would want that anyway. Well, it's not New York City, but it's like New York, I assume. Still wouldn't live there. I'm just happy that I can relax on the ride over. I'm normally sleep deprived anyway, for my studies and side projects. Oh, that's Johannes. He smiles and nods to me, opening the door for me before going around to the driver's side. It looks more like a Samuel, or like a Samuel. You're looking quite sharp today. He doesn't normally comment on my appearance, so the compliment catches me off guard. He's just making conversation, or does a part of him behind that polished professional exterior actually find it attractive? Whatever. It's nothing to get worked up about. Yeah, just because I'm ready for a nap on the inside doesn't mean I can't make my outside ready to take on the world. Of course. Alright. Why is this view giving like a cyberpunk type of feel to it? We speed off into the city. He knows this place and this traffic fluently, and it shows. He weaves through intuitively in ways that might have seemed dangerous if I hadn't already learned to trust his instincts. He plays a podcast about recent news. He might not share much about himself and his professionalism, but I've learned that he prefers to spend his spare brain cycles learning things rather than simply listening to music. Wish I had that discipline. It took a while to convince him that I really had no preference regarding what I listened to, but I'm glad I did. I always end up hearing something interesting during our drives. I mean, sure, North America has plenty of underground seasonal storm shelters, but they're only built to house people for a few weeks at a time. Oh, this people was on pockets. Alright, look at that. If this year is anything like last year, they'll need to expand their infrastructure down there. But where are people supposed to go in the meantime? That'll be up to their governments to figure out. But in the long term, we just need more ocean platforms if we're going to be climate robust. Okay. Ocean platforms like the one we're on. Now Reykjavik is a synthetic island, floating atop the rising sea, built as a refuge for inhabitants of the cold capital, now submerged under the Atlantic. It's different. Unlike a real island, it can move like a large, slow ship. That's enough to avoid the worst hurricanes and other storms so as long as the forecasts are accurate enough. It's strange to imagine how people used to be able to just live on this planet with nothing, no special tech to make the place habitable for them, just sit out in nature and somehow be okay. Crazy, right? I mean, I know it must have been like that, but it's hard to imagine actually living that way. How do we end up so far from that? Advancement in human technology and capabilities? Each year is similar enough to be the last, but the sea creeps a little higher, and the storms hit a little harder. And after a while, I guess it just adds up. Finally, we arrive at the school. I thank Johannes for his company. Quiet though he was for most of the ride. He'll stay out of running the house's errands for a while. Meanwhile, I'll be here. As busy as school makes me, I can't help but feel like my time is being wasted. Happy to learn, but I guess their priorities aren't the same as mine. The thing I most want to learn are the things we're covering right now, or the things required for matriculation exams, I guess. So I give them what they want, then lose sleep doing what I want. If we stay in another country, I might be at a university by now, with more freedom to choose my own studies. Of course, at the gymnasium, Iceland's equivalent of high school, go to age 19, so here I am. I head to one class after another, in rooms with round clusters of displays, where students sit to do the day's exercises while instructors circulate and help whoever's struggling. In literature, it's independent writing exercise today. In computer science, it's a group exercise. I hate group stuff. I really do, like with a burning passion. In bio, we have some wet lab stuff to do, so it's lab benches instead of electronic displays. We rarely do stuff like that, and the change of pace is nice. We get our reading assignments prepared for the next session, and shuffle ourselves along to the next class. The classes are well done, but it's more like a game of ticking all the boxes for the requirements, rather than going after knowledge because there's something in particular we want to learn. Or because we want to do something with that knowledge. At lunch, I sit with a few other students I've been getting to know. I haven't been in this country long, but it's pretty lonely without friends. I can see outside the internet, and I get along well enough with these guys. That's good. Oh, hey, Thea. So the posh princess decides to honor us with her presence. Yes, be grateful, peasant. Come on, you don't have to give her such a hard time. I love all their weird stances like they like Power Rangers or something. I'm like barely messing with her. And look at her, perfectly fine. Messing with people is how he shows affection. You don't need to explain me, Miranda. Anyway, I'm ready for my nap. I think I'll just stay here the rest of the day, okay? He's resting his head on his forearms, which are folded in front of him on the table. Oh, you made like a nap then. Were you up late? Nah, I just hate my life. Well, he's honest. So the usual. Yeah. Well, let's all hate life together. That voice an ironic imitation of a kindergarten teacher gathering everyone for a class activity. Party! His head still resting in his arms on the table, he raises one fist in mock enthusiasm. But he does smile, genuinely, it seems. The humor around here is almost dark, if not... nihilistic? But that's pretty normal in my experience. And that's a pretty different word for me. I mean, if someone acted genuinely cheerful, they just come across as fake or ignorant and get shat on for it. Why would anyone be genuinely cheerful, right? Now, hear me out. Have you tried not getting up in the morning? Forever? That's pretty dark. Screw off. It's going a bit far, Peter. Peter, you're going a bit too far now. Is it though? To be honest, it bothers me a bit as well, joking about depression and suicide of it, as if such things are just a matter of course. Maybe joking about it helps, at least more than pretending these things don't happen. Also true. I consider asking what they think about all that, but I hesitate. I don't know them that well yet. And heaven forbid I say anything truly heartfelt in front of my peers. For now, I just keep up my end of the banter until everyone's done with lunch and we head to our remaining classes. After class, when I'm allowed to turn my phone back on, I see a blip to one side of my vision. It's a notification on my head's up display, a message from Johannes. Oh, okay, a blip. Alright, I give the mental command to open the message. My phone transmits the image of Johannes to my HUD. To my eyes, he appears in front of me like a hologram, even though I'm the only one who can see the augmented reality overlay. That would be like extreme Bluetooth, so you basically talking to someone who you can see but no one else can see. And if you speak to that thing, then it looks like you're talking to yourself. And it's kind of weird. I'm afraid your parents have asked for my help with some urgent last-minute business, so it'll be an hour or so before I'm able to pick you up. The message is just a recording, so I can't respond directly, but still. What distance? I guess you didn't feel at liberty to share. I'll let you know when I'm free. If I don't hear from you otherwise, stay safe. That you're worried about my safety is entirely surprising. The city is dangerous to walk around by yourself. If I go anywhere, it'd be best not to go alone. I feel like that's what you should do in most cases. Because, yeah. Unless I just hail a ride straight home. But for now, I decide to... We'll see, my class is going to do something together. I look around for a familiar face near the main entrance, where students are waiting around for their rides, stopping by to hail them. Hey Thea. Hey, are you guys busy right now, or do you want to do something maybe? Like what? And there's this game cafe not far from here. Never gotten around to trying it. The place has high-end gaming systems, VR hardware, and a collection of physical board games. Plus comfortable seating and a full cafe menu with drinks and snacks. Sounds good. That's true, the place did sound interesting. Let's check it out. My parents will be fine with it so long as we stick together on the street. Alright, we make our way down the sidewalk, walking away from the school building. It's damn cold for Mark, isn't it? The city needs to turn up the outdoor heating. Sure, and then just bill the citizens for it, like they always do. I think I'd rather keep my money. That's also true. Do you even make any money? Miranda shrugs. I don't know. It always seems so chilly to me. I mean, you are... I don't know. I'm always cold, so... I shouldn't even talk. Yeah, but it isn't always like this, was it? Hey, you know what they say? Global warming, it makes the winters worse. I have no idea. Global weirding. The weather just does whatever it wants now. Sure. Heck yeah, basically. But it does make you wonder, is it particularly worse this year? My eyes go slightly out of focus as I mentally call up my HUD. There's floating eternal windows appear in front of me, invisible to everyone but myself. I mean, here's an article about crops dying on the mainland since spring. Conditions weren't meant for them to sprout this year, again. Apparently this is the third year in a row that it was like this for virtually all crops. Dang, what? Yep, we're all gonna die. What else is new? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just need more greenhouses. That's how we do it here. 3 years without a real summer? Does that sound familiar? I feel like I've heard something like that before. Like from a movie or something? I don't know. I continue scrolling through the windows only I can see. If you run into a pool, not a pool, but a pole while you're looking at the windows plastered across the insides your eyeballs, you know we're just gonna laugh and judge you, right? He smirks teasily. Okay. I sigh, exaggerating my annoyance for comedic relief. Oh, that's where it's from. The prophecy of Ragnarök. 3 years without summer under a useless sun. Signs of Norse mythology, apocalypse. So we're gonna die. Funny how you study this stuff way more than I do. You're not even from here. He's not wrong. At this point I read volumes on so many different traditions over the world, from those left in the dust of history to those still practiced large and small. I don't draw a line between mythologies and religions because, what's the saying? All stories are true in the places where they're told. The truth of the human experience behind it, and that, always exists, whatever form it might truly have taken. There's something I love about all of them, and I love finding connections between them more than anything. So we're still gonna die, but possibly more epically. Hey, the other side include years of global wars, that's also a thing. Now it's ready to turn this sign annoyance. You guys are ridiculous. Like, I know you're just messing around, but there are people in my family who get super into conspiracy theories like that, and honestly, I'm pretty burnt out on it. Seriously, everything is fine. Okay, geez whiz. Well, gee whiz. I guess. Peter echoes him in an exaggerated tone, playfully mocking his G-rated word choice. Hey, what is your problem, man? Oh golly gee. Okay, now you're overdoing it. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. They banter and jab back and forth, and I just laugh and shake my head, trying to at least give the impression of being present with them, even though my mind is still elsewhere. As we keep walking, there's a noise between two of the buildings and up ahead on our side of the street. A thump like something dropping to the ground. It sounds like a gunshot. You guys hear that? What? I point in the direction of the sound. It's like something fell back in here. So what? Should we cross the street away from it? She looks nervous about whatever might be lurking in the alley. Should just try to get a peek from a distance, see what's going on. Cross the street away from the noise. We turn and head back to the crosswalk and hit the button, waiting for the constant flow of traffic to pause. While we're waiting, a dark figure emerges from the alley when we heard the noise and approaches us. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, man. There's a person clad from head to toe in what looks like black armor, and they reach up over one shoulder to draw a large blade. Nope. Nope. Oh man, I keep doing it. Oh god. Omar starts sprinting up the sidewalk back where we came from, frantically muttering to himself. Nope. 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 The rest of us aren't far behind. Peter glances angrily behind us as we run. Leave us alone, you crazy cosplay weirdo. He scoops up a loose chunk of brick from the building's damaged facade and hurls it back at the dark figure chasing us. The brick zooms toward its target, but our pursuer dodges deftly, leaning to the side without even breaking their stride. Who even? Help! Police? La Policia? Hello? Meanwhile, Omar doesn't even budge, looking back, focused on running with a single-minded intensity I've never seen him muster for any other effort in his life. The figure leaps forward powerfully, clearing the distance between us as I can only imagine an Olympic athlete might. Blade raised overhead as they come in for a landing. The black-clad stranger swings downward at Peter, who somehow musters the defiant courage to swing and catch the incoming attacker's jaw with a punch, before getting cleaved into. Is this real? I stare in shock for a split second that seems like eternity. Dang. We got pizza. We got pizza. Rather than gas and disbelief, Omar screeches another nope in his voice, raising his octave before he simply dives straight into the crowded street. I feel like I'm being torn in half between the incomprehensible sight of Peter's familiar frame now crumbled into two pieces on the ground, and Omar disappearing between the cars. But that's when I realized that Omar is doing. We'll never outrun this attacker going up the straight path like the sidewalk. We need to lose them among obstacles, break line of sight. Shutting out my turning emotions in the name of survival, I leap out into the traffic as well, and Miranda closely follows. There goes PETA. The autonomous taxis and delivery vehicles that fill the street detect us and react in microseconds, stopping or swerving deftly around. We catch glimpses of the perplexed and digit faces of any passengers within, but the city's traffic AI is controlled enough to avoid driving any of the cars into each other or into us. Meanwhile, we weave, tumble past the cars, they're slow to avoid us, and glancing back, I lose sight of our pursuer. I let out a breath of relief, but keep running. Now's no time to assume we're safe. And then I hear it. And see it. Having locked onto us again, the blade-wielding figure is leaping from the roof of one car to the next. Spread out, that cycle can't follow all of us at once. I and the others go off in different directions, up the street, down the street, and down an intersecting road. I quickly realize that only one now being chased is me. Which in a way is a relief, at least the other two can get safely now, maybe. But as for me, I run up onto the sidewalk and around the corner. And now where am I supposed to go? I can't outrun them, I can't fight them. What then? But so long as I physically can, I just keep running. Up ahead, I see a dark van screech to a halt and the but the side door opens up to reveal a woman in a uniform. Police officer who's actually wielding firearms must be special forces. Get in! Quickly! Okay. Jumping into a strange van might not sound terribly safe, but at this point, to get to the van, I sprint with the last bit of energy I have, and, well, yeah, I get it. Meanwhile, she leans out, bracing herself against the seat and aiming around me, not with her rifle, but a strange sort of pistol I haven't seen before. When it fires, a consecutive wave radiates out from it, throwing the black hat individual back through the air. No bullets, interesting non-lethal option. I haven't heard of guns like this before. It buys enough time for me to climb inside and for the door to close and us to speed off. I notice traffic giving away freely to let us pass, like I see parting for our convenience. I guess you really must be special forces if the city's traffic AI is treating this vehicle with the kind of priority. I look around at the woman and the two officers inside the van. And yes, we are going to stop right here. Okay, that was crazy. Let me get my breath for a second, because PETA is no longer with us, and I don't know, I don't think this is a dream. So, we're gonna go to the main menu. Yes. Alright, this is Gods of Twilight. I found this game on Itchio. If y'all want to give it a try, of course, I will link everything in the description below for y'all to, you know, play further. But I'm just gonna leave it here. Of course, you know, leave this up. And, yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. If I decide to play it further, I will, not recording wise, and I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all next one.